What up, y'all? Welcome to the first official episode of the ZoomIN Podcast, powered by the Paragon Project in partnership with the Maroon Arts Group. I'm your host, G-Swerve, and we got some amazing people here today.
It's your boy Albert, a.k.a. Pico.
It's your boy Jay, a.k.a. Vibe, and we will be co-hosting the ZoomIN Podcast. How y'all feeling, man?
Pretty good,
Pretty
man.
good.
That's
Pretty
cool.
straight.
That's cool. All right, so tell me what y'all been up to for the past week.
Oh, shoot, bro. I got so much. Albert, you go first.
I mean, we got this internship going on, so just learning, figuring out a way to build some stuff. I got business ideas, I got music ideas, I got acting ideas. I got things that I'm doing, so I'm just focused on making some big decisions for my life. Because I'm 17, I gotta, next year it's gonna be a big time for me as becoming an adult. So.
Oh, see, he ain't got them taxes taken out his check yet.
Okay.
Man, it's coming. Nah, man, but I just been cooling, man. I'm actually in school right now. I just been making music, getting my stuff out there, and just staying out the way.
How are you? You asking us? How are you, man? How are you?
I'm smooth, man. I've been busy. I've just been performing like crazy, been networking like crazy, investing in myself, investing in other people. I'm just trying to make sure everybody succeed. You feel me? I mean, it's a whole lot of succeeding and everything. It's crazy with the world going on right now, man.
Oh yeah, you got Corona, you got the protests, the riots, everything like that. I know you heard about the NBA boycotts that have been going on, right?
Say what? Yeah, I did hear something about that. Tell me a little bit more.
Well, last Wednesday, the Bucks were supposed to play the Orlando Magic, and instead of playing them, they protested by not coming out and playing, which, it sent a ripple through the entire league. Everybody stopped playing their games in response to Jacob Blake being shot in the back 7 times. And so, they've been, that was the boycott. They stopped playing. All the teams stopped playing, not just the Bucks, but all the teams stopped playing.
Yeah. Jay, how you feel about that, bro? I see that hat you got up there.
Yeah, man, it's crazy. Especially since they turned all the arenas into locations for voting, and I feel like it's ridiculous that it takes so much. Like, it literally takes lives being sacrificed to make a change like that. Like, that's crazy, man. For that to have to take place, for there to be even some change. 2020 has been a crazy year, man. But between Jacob Blake to Kobe to Chadwick Boseman, like, we losing a lot of people, and it's crazy that sacrifices have to be made for change when change can just, I don't know, man. Change doesn't seem that difficult.
Wait, hold on. He's not dead, though. He got shot 7 times in the back. He's not dead, though.
Right. But, I mean, to Jay's point, though, there has been a lot of people in the past that did have to get killed. For this to even really, hit the forefront, something I always think about is the fact that these murders are being, publicized on television and social media and stuff like that. You know what I mean? But there's even more going on behind the scenes that we don't, necessarily know about, at least in my opinion. And I think what's really sad is that it makes us, as people, feel like there's nothing we could do about it. You know what I'm saying? Like, yeah, we could protest and we could write letters and all of that stuff. But when you're watching it on TV, you know what I'm saying? And then you scroll or you change the channel and, it's a picture of somebody doing something completely different. It's just like, man, like, it shouldn't just stop there. Yeah. You know what I'm saying? I feel like the real revolution is not going to be televised, in my personal opinion.
Especially being a part of it, man. Like, being downtown, or even just like being like a social media person, like spending your time trying to get your own stuff out there, like, it's draining almost. Like, looking at some of this stuff, like, it kind of has an effect on the way that you think about things. Like, there's so much ridiculous stuff that's going on where you don't even understand, like, how bad does it have to be before something actually happens, or what am I supposed to do for it to not happen?
Right.
It's just crazy, man.
Yeah. Well, you know what? Big ups to the team.
Jacob Blake.
We really hope that you get better and you rest well. We send a prayers to you, man. Big ups to the team. And let's hope we don't have to have this conversation again, man.
Yeah, man.
Facts.
Gotta do better.
Yeah.
Gotta do better.
We were actually lucky enough to get one of Columbus's very own, TrigNO, to sit down and talk to us about what's going on. Myself, Jay, and Emma was all able to catch up to him, so let's get it. What up, everybody? My name is Tavian Gray, a.k.a. G-Swerve.
It's your girl, Teddy.
It's your boy, Vard.
And we got a very special guest today. Everybody give a warm round of applause to my brother from another mother, TrigNO. Come on, y'all. Yes, sir. Columbus's very own. Man, tell us a little bit about yourself. How you doing? What's up? What's new? What's old?
Hey, man. Can't call it, man. Best rapper alive. That's really
talk to him.
Thing I can say, you know what I'm saying? I'm just staying above water. You feel me?
Yeah, man.
How's the adjustment with COVID?
I ain't even gonna lie to y'all. I probably made the most money I've ever made during the COVID.
Mm-hmm.
I can't even it ain't been crazy, but mentally it's been a little bit trying, just as far as going out and actually getting inspiration from certain things. It's sometimes I go and I write a whole song about a conversation I had with somebody, and those interactions are important when you're an artist. So it's I haven't really been getting that as much, but it helps me reflect on myself a lot though. So it's definitely trying. You never really know how much you don't really sit in solitude until you forced to do that. Know what I'm saying? So it's it's different.
Mm. So, speaking about COVID, we heard about your recent performance. Has that been difficult for you to adjust to? Was it different from what you're used to, or did it feel the same?
It definitely didn't feel the same. But that was a big production thing. If you're talking about the one on Rad TV.
Yeah.
Yeah, so that was a big production thing. So it was that's, I imagine Jimmy Kimmel or something like that to be in the same pocket, or Colors, or when NPR first started the Tiny Desk series. So that was just something I probably had to get used to. So that's one of them things where it's just all right, well, time to lock in and get this out of the way so you can have this under your belt and you won't bump it in the future.
Right. So backing up, man, I completely forgot to tell the world about how amazing you are. Can you talk to us a little bit about what you actually do? I know you're a dancer, a rapper, a singer. Can you tell the world what exactly it is that you do?
Yeah, I teach in the community. I teach dance to the youth in the community at For the Love of Dance, and I throw my own classes. I got one actually Saturday on the 29th of August. I'm not sure when this will drop, but yeah, I do that. Before COVID, I had the Singing Hangout. Well, I still have the Singing Hangout, and that's every last Sunday of the month. Whenever everything opens back up, we're going to get right back to it it never stopped, you know what I'm saying? Because,
Can you talk to us a little bit about that? What happens at the Singers Hangout and everything?
So pretty much the Singing Hangout, we invite everybody to come out and have a big sing-along vibe with each other. We got the band out there, and we just vibe the whole night, man. It's like a big sing-along, just like how you do at your cookouts with your family and all of that. And it's hard to describe. It's just one of the things. It's just you got to be there. So,
TrigNO, I know that there's a lot of questions from the fans. Like I said, you're well known around Columbus, especially the north side. That's where I'm from. Shout out to Morris Road, Cleveland Avenue area. That's all me. Man, talk to us about this Columbus music scene. How you feeling about it? Where do you stand? You know, what's your thoughts? What's your mind at?
The Columbus music scene is very dope, man. It's nothing like it. I think everybody that comes through here from out of town, they be like, "Oh man, y'all really know what y'all doing here?" And it's like, yeah, we just don't have that push that we need as far as like the back end stuff, that that little tunnel to the higher ups or nothing like that. But everything dope will reveal itself in time, so I'm not really too pressed about that. And I think Columbus is next up as far as like the next big thing. We've already, like, people already sound like us in so many ways, which I ain't about to get too deep into, but
Talk to him.
it is what it is, you know what I'm saying? And I got bars for anybody who think different. So
Oh yeah. Oh yeah.
So
Talk to him.
who would you say that your art appeals to the most?
that's a good question, man. Cause it's like I do projects catered to different audiences. Like when I did Raw's Forum, that was just for like my age, my age and younger. So that was a lot of 808s and a lot of pound and all of that. And then Foresight was more so for the older crowd. And as far as the content and just connecting how the youth is with social media and the disconnect from that was just my thing with that. And then Identity was bringing everything together. So with Identity, it was one of them things where it's like, yeah, the sound is like real 90s, real 2000s feel-ish. But at the same time, it's like the content is so relevant to today. It's like you can't really knock it. You know what I'm saying? So, and I try to not do too many introspective bars or like bars that's way over people's head, because I can do that. But I wanted to get straight to the point with every bar to make it dope at the same time. So that was pretty much what that was. So that appeals to all audiences. So that's a good question. You know what I'm saying? I try to aim to a certain audience, and then it just, sometimes it hits another audience. So as long as somebody listening.
So would you say that hip hop from like a actual deep dive standpoint, where like you actually had to listen to tapes over and over again just so that way you could get something that you didn't get before, would you say that element of hip hop genre is dead?
Nah, not at all. You got people out here really doing that. Like Kendrick still does that. Like people didn't know what the damn album was about until it like hit the blogs. I think people need to stop dropping the Easter eggs on the internet. You know what I'm saying? I think people need to figure it out on their own. But people didn't know that whole album was in reverse, or you could reverse it back. People didn't know the real meaning of To Pimp a Butterfly, and people didn't know what KOD stood for J. Cole's album. People don't know about THC with Mick Jenkins and all of that different stuff. Like, it's still there, and the bars are still there. Like Lupe Fiasco still dropping music. Griselda, they dropping music. Like, as far as Griselda, you still got them. They talk about the drug thing, and sometimes you just have to be in that setting to know exactly what they're talking about, or you have to literally look it up. You know what I'm saying? Just because the lingo is so different, just how hip hop started, people didn't know what the four elements really stood for, different like that. It's like a whole different lingo that's different from the mainstream world that you just got to tap into. So it's still there. As long as hip hop is still a word, then it's like, it's still there.
Wise words, man. So speaking of that, I know earlier you have mentioned that you had dropped an album. What is your favorite track off of this latest album, and why? He had to think about it.
I will say Paranoia, the second verse, is my favorite verse on there. I can't really give a favorite just because, like, literally, aside from Power, every verse, every bar was so thorough, so true. I remember where I was at. Like from Lift Your Eyes, like that was the alarm clock of the album. It's called Lift Your Eyes, you know what I'm saying? So with that to Design, I remember turning other people's problems into mine. I was a bar on there. Forbidden Fruit. I just remember being that young, thinking I'm about to sell drugs to get some money, and I'm about to do this. And I remember actually doing that one time for a short period of time, and then I remember
Allegedly.
different things. Yeah, allegedly. You know, I mean, shoot, like,
Yeah.
I ain't do nothing crazy.
Right.
Like that, you know.
We gotta put that in reverse, Terry.
Yeah, but you know, it's just that's just growing up and growing up on the north side. You know what I'm saying? You know about that. That's just how it was. And you know, sometimes you just got to make things happen just because it's not happening, and we can't fault people for doing that, especially when the government actually forced us into that light, and they planted these things in our neighborhoods, and they did all of that, and they locking us up for the same things they planted, which is very evil. But that's a whole different topic, know what I'm saying? But you know, just I remember different things that happened, different stories that happened in the album, and then I just was like, all right, cool. Like, it just hits home every time I listen to it. So it's actually hard to listen to it now sometimes just because I remember.
So would you say, because you just dropped some gems, like especially going in inner city Columbus or inner city north, south, like it's very easy to get wrapped up in hip hop culture, but how would you feel that hip hop culture should be reacting to what's going on right now?
It depends on what you mean by that. Like, hip hop culture is the actual culture is based off the 4 elements of hip hop, and I don't feel like people are really embracing all 4 like that. Me, I embrace all 4 for sure. Like, I've been learning how to DJ, graffiti and all of that. Art has just graphing and drawing. That's been a part of my life. That was before I was rapping. I was doing that. Dance, you know how that go. And then the MC aspect, people aren't really embodying that MC role. It's a lot of singing rappers out here. So ain't nobody really barring up like that. So I'm sticking to that soil for sure. So I think people should really actually embody that and then add that to the flavor that they have now, and then sky's the limit. Because, you know, every hip hop artist from back then, they actually had something to talk about. Now it's like, we hear the same thing over and over. And these guys are really smart. That's the crazy thing. These guys are really smart, but once you add money as a factor, then it's like nobody's really thinking long term. Like, you know, if I drop this classic album about my lifestyle or whatever, it's going to resonate for years, and it's going to keep bringing money to me just because people are going to relate to it more, other than like talking about money, cars, and clothes, which a lot of people don't have in the inner city. It gives people something to look up to, but once you just do it so rapidly, it's just like, all right, bro, like we're not trying
that wow factor.
Right. Yeah, you know, I was actually talking to a friend of mine, and we were talking about how it seems like hip hop back in the day really focused on what was going on in the community. And at this point in time, mainstream hip hop seems to focus more on what's going on personally, especially when it comes to mental health. You know, there's a lot of rappers who will talk about taking drugs to deal with some type of pain, you know, versus talking about what's actually going on around them that's causing them those issues. So I think that realistic element of hip hop needs to be put back. And, you know, it's really good that there's artists like yourself and myself and, you know, people like Wordplay Keys, if anybody's hip to them, or Greg Owens. I mean, there's just so many different MCs that really try to put that realistic element back into hip hop. You know, and just the history of hip hop in Columbus in general, it's insane. You know, it's an unknown history. So like I said, man, our city is very special in that way. And like I said, having MCs like you who really try to embody all 4 elements of that, man, it's dope. It's dope.
For sure, man. I agree with you. Them is my guys too. So shout out to the guys.
What direction do you think, if hip hop genre were to switch again within the next couple of years, what direction do you see it going?
Man, honestly, I'm actually afraid to answer that question because I don't want to put nothing in the air. I hope with everything that's going on that people will open their eyes and actually get educated on stuff and talk a little more about the issues that's going on. And hip hop is bigger than us, man. It's really bigger than us. Life is actually bigger than us, you know. So I think the more that people don't reflect on life itself other than ourselves, then we're not going to go in the right direction. You know what I'm saying? I don't want to hear about nothing that I can't relate to right now, you know, especially in this time, in this day and age. Like Lil Baby dropped a song, and Lil Baby's a good rapper, by the way. I think he is. But Lil Baby dropped a song, a couple more people dropped a song, and they went right back to what they was doing before. You know what I'm saying? So it's just like
you talking about bigger picture?
Yeah. That was the name of the song, right? Yeah. So like people did that and then they went right back to what they was doing, you know. Like I get it, you gotta make your money at the end of the day, but you know, it's some stuff going on, man, and we all need to be focused on that. But, you know, that's just my opinion. And people can do what they want and take what they want from it. But there's going to be somebody out there talking about situations and actually reflecting on what's supposed to be going on.
Right. Teddy, I know you got some heat over there. You've been quiet this whole time, girl. Go on and come off mute. We want to hear you.
Okay, you know, I just been marinating in these gems. You were spitting straight facts right now. Do you think that if younger artists were to step up and start to mentor younger children in those communities, would it create what's the word I'm looking for? More self-aware generations?
Yeah, but some people also need to be mentored. You know what I'm saying? I think some people need to seek mentorship, and it's all about passing it down. Just like when you have children, you know, like you're supposed to sow seeds into that child and watch and reap from that as well. Just because that's how a garden grows, you know. So you keep sowing your seed, you put everything you can into it, and then they do the same thing with their children. It's supposed to pass down from generation to generation. Now, everybody can find a mentor, everybody,
right.
But it's all about breaking that pride that you have to be led. Because I have 3 mentors, well, 4 if you include my dad. So, you know, it's just like when I don't have the answer, I ask them, and then, you know, they open up different portals for me to think from, know what I'm saying, and they give me different insights on certain situations, and you know, that's just how it's supposed to be. You're supposed to pass it down from generation to generation, and you're supposed to, in order to lead, you must be led, so you can know what you're doing.
Wise words. Man, so speaking on that, can you actually talk a little bit about your mentors, maybe some of your influencers, you know, how you got in the game, you know, all of that? We're very interested.
Word. So I'm gonna just go with how we got in the game because that's gonna lead into everything else. First of all, let's just start with home. My dad, we grew up in a real church household. We wasn't allowed to listen to no hip hop music, none of that. Like just gospel. But when I leave the house, I see everything else but that.
Right.
You know, so it's just like I had the best of both worlds, and I really tied that into my music. So when I first started rapping, they had a tape deck not a tape deck, but a tape player at my elementary school. And I think, what beat was that? The Wanksta beat by 50 Cent. First time I ever freestyled to a beat off the, like, of course, like, I was a late bloomer. I think that was, that 3rd grade or 5th grade. One of them grades. So I freestyled over that, and I was trash, but I liked how it felt. So I just kept writing and practicing, and I would already learn like what harmonies is because I listen to gospel music. If you want to know how to sing, you have to listen to gospel music. That's essential.
Facts.
Period.
Yeah, so it's like I knew what harmonies was and all of that. And I knew how to do all of that at a very young age. So I would keep writing raps. The first song I wrote to was to Air Forces by Nelly. It was about Converses. Because I was on a real heavy Converse kick. Like I had Converse weapons, I had Chucks, all types of different stuff. Like so that, my pops, he always told me like since we grew up in this household, I didn't cuss in my music. I wasn't allowed to. You know what I'm saying? I still don't to this day. You feel me?
Right.
So I watch what I say. And on top of that, like I have nieces now, nieces and nephews, a lot of them. So it's like when I grow up or when they grow up, I want them to listen to it and then just like really understand what's going on. Cause my brothers, they ain't gonna have to listen to nothing else. You feel me? So, then as time progressed, I ran into Malik Willoughby, who really got me started in the dance community for real. So
shout out to Malik Willoughby.
That's one of my mentors. So that's two of them. And then you have DJ O-Sharp. I ran into him, and he got me linked up with my homie Satele. Satele taught me what a mix and a master was and all of that. So, and then above all of that is God. You know what I'm saying? Sometimes I just really got to pray. Like, that's one of my mentors, I believe. So, like, I got to pray. And I gotta. Sometimes I really just don't have the answer, and I need a sign right in my face. And like, I don't know how spiritual people are, but like, God would literally be like, I'll be like, "Hey, should I eat this today?" This is just an example. Should I eat this today? And then God would just put some type of sign in front of my face. Like, no, it'd be just, I don't know, it'd be like a roadblock on the way to a place where I think I should be eating at. And I'd be like, all right, cool, that's God.
Right.
But that was just off the top of the head. It's just different scenarios that's happened. But, all of that came with the foundation of my music and all of that. And I just never ignored the signs, man. I just really stuck with that. And that's really been my formula from the start since I started rapping and all of that. So I watch what I say just because I know people are listening. And I've picked to take this road to teach children and mentor kids and different things like that. So I feel like I'm embodying that well by how I'm doing what I'm doing now.
Yeah.
So would you say that? Oh, my bad.
Oh, go ahead, Jay.
Would you say that gospel from an early age, did it push you towards hip hop or kind of pull you away from hip hop growing in like a non-hip hop household?
It kind of just like, just added to it. Like I listen to gospel now. I listen to old gospel. I'm not really a fan of new gospel now. But like, just I like how they used to really worship and like jam for like hours on the track. You know what I'm saying? I just always thought that was dope. It just reminded me of like when you got like a Frankie Beverly and Maze track that's like 10 minutes long. You know what I'm saying? So it's like they would really just embody that music and then stay in that pocket the entire time and switch it up and like just different things. Like it's just really catching that vibe and then really just passing that on and people catching it with you and different things like that. So I've always embodied that. And so to answer your question, it never really steered me away or brought me to it. You know what I'm saying? It's just been there. It really helped and enhance what I know. Right.
Listen, I haven't got to use this button this whole show, but man, that segment that you said just about your mentors and God, man, I gotta, you know what I'm saying? I just gotta put a little siren on it, man, because it really did take me there, dude. Like this, I wish more artists had that. You know what I mean? Like that foundation is so strong, it's so raw. You know what I'm saying? To where you learned harmonies from gospel. You know what I'm saying? Like hip hop. I'm not gonna say that, but I don't think every artist gives gospel its credit in terms of how the impact that gospel has had and has currently on hip hop.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? Especially dealing with like crossover artists and things of that nature. But I mean, that's a whole nother conversation. I do have a question though, speaking on something that you said earlier. So let's talk about some trends.
Okay.
How do you feel about WAP? WAP. We all know what it stands for. At least we got our own version of the acronym. How do you feel
What it
about what's
should
going on
stand
right
for
now?
is worry about pandemic.
Try to tell you. How you feel, man?
WAP is I mean, I know what I want Megan to do. You know what I'm saying? I already like Cardi B, she don't write her own raps. So it's like she's a pop star at this point. And she's not really a MC to me. But much love to her, know what I'm saying? Because she does different things for people. Like she's actually a very smart girl. She speaks out on situations and yeah, I appreciate that about Cardi B. That's what I appreciate about Cardi B. And she's herself. You know what I'm saying? So, but as far as like rapping ability, I'm not really checking for a Cardi B record to see if she rapping. But Megan can rap. Like I've heard her freestyle on a couple of interviews, and I was like actually thoroughly impressed because I listen to down south music. I listen to Zero, I listen to Lil Kiki, I listen to all of them. So I'm actually thoroughly impressed. I can hear the Pimp C influence, and I just feel like one, she watched Cardi B on the record. Two, I hate when people just take them samples and just throw them on there, and then the production is just like lackluster. You feel me? So it's like I'm not trying to hear that. And I just want Megan to rap about something different, man. I just really hope she does that on her next album. I don't really have too much bad to say about the song. It's definitely not for me. I don't hear people listening to that when the clubs open back up. I think that song is gonna come and go.
Hold on.
Right.
We got to backtrack.
Question.
We got to backtrack real quick. Y'all heard it here first on the ZoomIN Podcast. According to TrigNO, Meg Thee Stallion washed Cardi B on the new track. You heard it here first, folks. I want to know what y'all think.
Not wasp, but wash.
Wash.
Bad.
Got some down on that. Just down.
Whoever Cardi B's ghostwriters are is yikes. And it's not even, and the crazy thing is Megan wasn't even like going crazy. She was actually like decent. And Cardi B was just like, all right, when is Meg coming on?
Ooh.
Yeah, hire some writers.
Now, I actually do have another question. So, besides WAP, there has been a lot of female rappers getting bad rep because a lot of other artists are claiming that all female rappers rap about the same thing. And I'm not even going to say it out loud because it's inappropriate. But what is your intake on it? Is there any female artists that you know of that don't rap about that? Like, is it just a stereotype, or is that stereotype?
I think we put the wrong people on the pedestal. Honestly, Rhapsody got nominated for a Grammy, and not a lot of people know that. She's one of the coldest. She's better than guys, and that's not even like, she's better than dudes. And it should be like that, you know. And if you can rap, you can rap. You know what I'm saying? But she's like washing dudes really bad. She's actually, I would put her. I actually heard her on the song with J. Cole, and she like did him dirty on there. J. Cole, my favorite rapper.
Hold on, I need to know what song this is. What song is this?
Sojourner.
Oh yeah.
Oh, she
yeah. You got her. You got No Name. What's her name? Lake 47.
Yes.
Kamaya.
Kamaya can spit.
She can rap. I just like, she don't talk about the same stuff. You know what I'm saying? She just like, I like the West Coast sound too. Who else is out there? And I just like, Meg is literally there and she can do it, and I just want her to do it.
Right.
That's it. Like, I just want her to just forget what the label say. Just, we want to hear something. You got shot in both your feet. Now you got to talk about something. You know what I mean? Like, come on, man. Like,
You have a point. You
don't
have a
get shot in
point.
both feet and talk about how you scamming dudes. Like, don't do that. We don't want to hear that right now. We want to hear some bars.
Right.
So on the topic of female rappers, what is your take on Young M.A?
Oh yeah, I forgot about Young M.A. Young M.A is very dope. Very.
Yeah.
She's like, I like her lazy flow more than anything, and she's very clever. She's up there too.
Yeah, man. You had mentioned that you like the West Coast sound too. Let's talk about the influence though, that Ohio influence, man. Like,
yeah,
are we gonna bring up the Ohio players? Are we gonna bring up, you know what I'm saying? Like,
yeah, we need our credit, man. We need our credit, you know.
That sense, man. I heard that from somewhere.
Yeah, that's Ohio player stuff. You feel me? And I think, I don't know if they ever gave us credit for that, but I don't think the world knows for real.
No, they can't. How could they?
You know, Dr. Dre know what it is. He know where he got that from, and people know what's going down. They know what that. They know who Roger Troutman is. They know what they do when they play that voice box, that talk box.
Yep. You know what? And that's really important because, like I said, our city has a legacy. Ohio has a legacy in general, from the comedians to the activists to the poets to the, it's a huge pot of artists. You know what I mean? And I think it's really important for us to know the legacy. You know what I'm saying? A lot of people at this point in time, in my opinion, will name drop their city or their state, whatever the case may be. You know what I'm saying? To put them on that pedestal, whether their music or art is dope or not. You know, with Columbus, I feel like we have a bad rep. It's like, oh, you might not be able to get nowhere in Columbus and all this other stuff, but the way I see our city, it's a training ground. You know what I'm saying? Like, there's so many different artists here. There's so many different genres of music. There's different outlets and things of that nature. You could literally be in a club and bump shoulders with somebody who won a Grammy or was Grammy nominated, or whose cousin is Trippie Redd or something like that. You know what I mean? So, when people talk about our city, I just want to make sure that they are talking from not only experience but just from knowledge. You know what I'm saying? Like, it's a whole history that embodies our city that makes me prideful to come from Columbus, Ohio, specifically the north side of Columbus, Ohio. I love my city. I know, people will leave to start their careers and things of that nature, but you started here. You know what I'm saying? This music stuff, it started here. So, like I said, the world needs to give us credit, and we need to give each other credit. That's
sure.
Real.
So north side Columbus artist, right now, somebody who's like semi-underground but is signed to Meek Mill, EKT40. Are you familiar?
You know what's funny about EKT40? I think he's from the Terrace, if I'm not
mistaken. Yeah, he is.
So,
Windsor, yeah.
I used to work at Douglas Rec.
Yeah.
I worked there literally for like 3 weeks because my actual station was out west at Glenwood Rec for the apps program. Okay. So he came in the gym with jeans and he just came in the gym with jeans. You're not really allowed to do that. But like me, I'm the cool guy. Like, I always want to talk to the youngest, you know what I'm saying? So I remember him coming up to me, or no, I went up to him and I asked him what did he do? Because I was trying to figure out what programs we should add into the program. So he said he rapped, and then he said he boxed too. So I was like, oh, word, let me hear something. So he pulled out his phone, and at the time, his name was Just 40. So he played me his music, and then I played him my music and stuff like that, and he was like, yeah. And I don't think at the time he knew what a mix and a master was. I think he just recorded, and then it was just, So, like, he's actually a really good kid, in spite of what's going on, him being in jail. and all of that. He's a really good kid. So
his story is crazy.
Yeah, he has a wild story. Somebody like one of the students from I think from Glenwood actually told me about the little situation, or not little situation, but the situation he had with his friend Turk.
Yeah.
And yeah, I was just like, oh dang. And I was thinking this whole time it was like current, and I didn't know what the actual story was. But yeah, he has an interesting story, man, and I think I wish him the best. Hopefully I see him again, and then we can chop it up about some stuff.
Yeah, he's one of the people I want him to do good. Like that's crazy, a complete turnaround. So I would definitely want to see him do good.
Yeah, he's very thorough too. Whatever you see on his videos and stuff like that, that's really how it is.
It really is.
I know them guys out there. I've seen a couple of them people in the videos. They used to come to the rec center too, and they like that.
Yeah, man. That's crazy. I had no idea that y'all even met each other. That's like legendary, you know what I'm saying? Especially for the city, you know what I'm saying? In my opinion, bro, you know what I'm saying? You're king of the unique underground in Columbus. You know what I'm saying? That's what I'm gonna call that.
Appreciate
you
that.
know, for sure. And EKT 40, like I said, just being signed to Meek Mill and having the impact that he has, you know, he's kind of got that mainstream vibe. So King of Underground, King of Mainstream vibe, Columbus, Ohio coming together, bro. That's love, bro. That's dope. You know what I'm saying? Big shout outs to EKT 40. Well, with that being said, let's see. Where we want to go with it, y'all. We got TrigNO, one of the city's greatest. What we got to say?
Well, I really appreciated talking to you. I've listened to some of your music. It's really dope. By far, you like on my top 10 at the moment. I'm not even going to front with you. You are on my top 10. Cause what? Look.
Listen. There's
no words. I'm speechless.
You said what?
He's for the 614.
So sorry, say that one more time, Trig.
What songs do y'all like the most so far?
I definitely want to say Free Fallin' and Change.
Free Fall. Oh my goodness.
Those are my top 2.
Yeah.
Those are my top
I
2.
like I'm not gonna lie, man. I like your collab with I can't remember dude's name. I think it's Dre's something. Liquefy. Yep. Liquefy is crazy. We actually did a warm up. I was in a workshop and we did a writing warm up to where we had to take a bar and then take that bar and then continue writing with that same flow. And I used a line that you had said in that. You said, what'd you say? You said, I guess I'm my own OG now. Dudes ain't even in the league with my freestyles. I'm like, oh, crazy. And then what else you said? You said feature prices going up. Better pay your fee, G. I'll be selling over dangerous waters if you need, bruh. I'm not gonna lie, man. I'm a huge admirer of your work, bro. You know, I've followed your music for a really long time. I actually discovered you through Greg Owens. Shout out to Greg Owens.
Right, that's my dog.
You know, when I was coming up,
hang out too.
Yeah, man. We all gotta link up. But yeah, man. When I when I really started trying to get on the Columbus music scene and stuff like that, I had met Greg No through a friend of mine, a DJ. Shout out to DJ with Taylor. It was one of her events, and she ended up saying like, yeah, I really like your music. I think that you should meet, Greg Owens. He's like really good at marketing and getting himself out there and all that stuff. So I met him. And at the time, I did not know that Columbus has so many artists. You know what I'm saying? Like, I thought that I listened to what other people said, like, Columbus don't got that much. But I ended up getting his social media. And I went to his IG page, and I'm just scrolling through, and I'm seeing all these, like, performances from different people. And I'm like, where is this at? And I'm checking the comments and everything. It's like, this is in Columbus. So I'm like, oh, these are Columbus artists. So, from female rappers like Shad and all, and then there's like musicians and the bands like Mr. Anderson and all that stuff. Like I said, man, our city has so much talent. So one of those videos was you performing, I think, the song Tetris with you, Wordplay Keys or Cassius Keys and Greg Owens. And I was like, you know, okay, let me go check out who these dudes are and everything like that. But yeah, that's a conversation that I could talk all day about, but I don't want to take up too much of your time. Man, what's next for you? What you got going on? Like I said, I hope that this platform, you know, just continues to promote the good music, the good hip hop, and what you're doing in the community. What's next for TrigNO?
Me and Sean are dropping a project again. So
Okay.
They ain't dropped since Raw's Form, which was 2017, and I was with Liquify on there. So
okay.
We're dropping another one. This one is just like a couple people have been trying me saying I'm decent with the bars, and I'm just it's people that's like I'm better than you, man. Like, so I'm like, all right, I'm gonna do this one time only, and I'm just gonna snap the whole project. Just rap the entire project and all of that. So I'm about to get into that rap bag. Some introspective songs on there, but mainly there's like no melodic anything going on, which is different for me because that's what I like to do. Of course, I rap mainly, but at least one song you'll have like a free falling, or you'll have a hypnotize, or you'll have like a due date or something like that. But yeah, like I'm just about to rap the entire project.
Yep. So just one more time, what was the name of that album and where can we find it? When can we expect it?
It's coming out this year. That's all I can tell you right now. The name, you might find it somewhere on social media if you look for it. I'm trying not to just put it out there just yet, but you know, it's a word that I've been hearing people say a lot, just because I don't know if that's just the type of time people been on. You know what I'm saying, but people been saying this word a lot, and we've been talking about this tape and working on it for 2 years. So yeah, we did Identity for 2 years. Foresight was quick, but me and Sean been doing this for 2 years because we was doing projects in between that. So we had to keep linking up and things like that. So yeah, man, just if you like rapping, if you like bars, then this is for you. If not, you know, just go to an Identity or something like that. You'll be good.
For sure. Well, y'all heard it here, folks. TrigNO's got a project coming out, and we don't even know the name of it yet, but we know it's going to be dope. I want to say thank you, my brother, for coming on here. Like I said, you are one of the city's legends. I don't care what nobody says. Ride or die forever, man. Northside, man. I really appreciate you coming on this show. Any final comments, any words of wisdom, anything you want to say to the fans? The floor is yours.
Hey, TrigNO.co. Shout out to the Ross Formation. That's my squad forever.
Shout out to Ross Form.
And everybody stay safe out here. Stay home.
For sure. All right, brother. You take care. We're going to see you on that flip side. We're going to look out for that album, man.
For sure. Coming very soon.
All right.
Be sure to look for him Off the Record, too. We got something for you, y'all. He gonna drop a little piece on us. So, love to see that.
Sure, say less. I got you.
Yes, sir.
Alrighty.
Yeah, man. Bigs up to TrigNO, man. We really appreciate him making time out of his busy schedule. Being an artist, we know how hectic it can be some days. So just finding time to make it out of his week just to talk to us. We're going to transfer over to the In the Mix segment. In the Mix is being in the mix. Just talking about what's going on in the music industry, what's going on with just media in general, dealing with different things that may be new or old. And this is our opportunity to get the audience in the mix.
Yep.
What's good, y'all? You are now in the mix with Vibe, and we just wanted to talk about posthumous albums this week and their impact on artists' legacies. And we wanted to get y'all in the mix to think of what do y'all think the take on posthumous albums are. So let's jump right into it. For starters, 7 out of 11 Tupac's albums came after his death, and many people look at Tupac as one of the best rappers to ever live. Do you think that his success and his legacy, we would still be so influenced by and would be so impacted by if it were not for his death? Like, if he was alive today, would you still look at Tupac the way that we do now? To be honest with you, I feel like Tupac as a rapper was pretty overrated. I mean, I have Tupac posters on my walls because of the person he was, but because of the I feel like his writing capabilities and the way that he was a rapper, I feel like there are more people who, from an artist standpoint, can be held higher than him. But that's just my opinion. I would hold him in a top 20, but a top 5 just isn't for me. But if you feel differently or you want to get your point across, please let us know and we'll look into it. But you have been in the mix with VOD, and catch you next time.
You've been in the mix. Now we're about to go off the record with Columbus's very own TrigNO. Off the record is a part of our podcast, a segment where we have an open mic. We allow people the opportunity to perform whatever their artistic craft is. So here we go.
Off the record.
We're gonna try one take this one. Yo. Hey.
Off the record.
It gets spooky. Groupies in the group me. All of them married. I ain't even touch one. She was trying to kick it with the boy. I said, hut one. Hey, take a hike and when you leave, don't touch none. Flow fabulous, hot boy. I slap the devil in his advocate. Mad and flip all my hits thick. Christ on passionate. If it ain't 100 yards times that, I'm passing it. Even in these dirty shoes, dudes polished. Commenting to tell you this like water for chocolate. I really got it. Crisscross, I made the hop hip. You are now rocking with TrigNO. The consequence of execution. Yeah. The most dominant, Dre know how this feel, but today I'm the document. Just name 2 doctors in the bar. People I operate, except it's real life and it's not a game. Ross formation to my inspiration, yeah.
All right, that was dope. Well, that's all the time that we have for today. You know, we're gonna be coming back every 2 weeks. So give us some feedback. Give us some feedback. You know, we trying to make this podcast better, not just for us, but for y'all, because y'all are the ones who watching and listening to it. So, it's been real. It's your boy Albert, aka Pico.
It's your boy Jay, aka VOD.
It's your boy Tavian, aka G-Swerve, and this has been an episode of the ZoomIN Podcast. Peace.